Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back, this time on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to be in the Philadelphia Eagles playbook, looking at dime 2-3-6 is our formation. We're going to be doing a little bit of run defense, just some basic run defense that I like out of here, out of this dime formation here. And we're, like I said, we're in Philly, but this is dime 2-3-6 is in probably about 10 or 11 books. You can always go to Madden school and and find exactly what books, what plays, and stuff like that. Madden School, very helpful website, just playbook wise at least anyway. But cover 3 buzz, show 2 is going to be the play that we're going to come out in here. We'll just kind of show you what it is here. Actually, let's go ahead and go back to our playbook here because I want to show you just our adjustments of what we're doing here. So we want to go to coaching adjustments and push your right stick down, and we just want to make sure our auto flip is on. So so we're putting our strong side defender, our nickel defender type of player in. He's going to be our force defender. We want him to be to the strong side of the formation where the opponent's probably going to run to. So, and then auto alignment, we're going to put it on base. So let's go on ahead and we'll get back on the field here. Okay, so now we're back on the field here. Now that we went through those just couple little, minor detail things in the coach adjustments there. So cover 3, show 2 here. Obviously, it is a cover 3 on the back end here with our 3 deep zones, and then the show 2 is going to be from these 2 safeties, C.J. Gardner-Johnson and then Brown over here. We're showing 2 safeties up top as opposed to 1 safety being in the middle and the other guy being down in the box. So, and we are in dime, so this is going to be a much lighter formation than your typical base defenses of a 4-3 or a 3-4 because we have a lot of DBs on the field. So all these guys are DBs here. You can put a DB in every single spot, except these down linemen here, of course. But there can be a DB on the field at every single position, which is beneficial to your MUT team because, you don't have abilities on those guys to jump and get interceptions. And things like that, better in coverage typically than a linebacker would be, higher zone coverages and whatnot, higher man coverages. But the downside to this is you are playing, like I said, you're playing lighter. So if they have a bunch of tight ends on the field, it could be a little bit harder to stop the run. But with this run defense, it's very beginner friendly. It's very basic, and we're going to get into exactly why that is. So we're talking about this being a beginner-friendly scheme here. We're really not making any adjustments. Really, the only guy that I really want to user control, I control this backside curl flat, this backside purple, because let's go on ahead and get into these run fits. You can do run fits as well in practice mode in a game. You hold the right trigger, and then you hit B or circle or square or X, depending on what system you're on, and you can see your run fits. These are going to be where the players on the field are filling the gaps against, if your opponent would run. So, of course, we see if there's a run to the left, we have the F over our guy in the nickel spot there, our guy in the slot. He's going to be our force defender, so I feel very good about that. And then, of course, we kind of have the tough job. We have to get over all of this and be the force defender on this side. So it is a little bit more difficult with 2 controllers here as well. But we're just going to kind of run this a few times and just show you exactly what we're talking about. So let's get into the runs actually on the field here. We do have a halfback stretch in the audibles, and then I have just a run up the middle, just a halfback dive. Of course, like I said, a run up the middle is going to be, they have a lot more weight. And even though Madden isn't perfect, they do decently enough on, if a bigger guy is blocking a smaller guy, typically the bigger guy does, block that guy down the field. Of course, it's Madden, there's block sheds, there's crazy things that happen. But this, this run up the middle is, a little bit more susceptible. There, the safety does come down. James Conner puts his shoulder into him. We get a very good run. So I do want to show you the cons of this as well. Not just I could show you run to the left here, and we're going to gobble that up, right? We're going to go for a 2. We could show that every time, but we want to show the pros and the cons of this. Let's go to the stretch to the right side of the field, sort of away. I have 2 controllers. I have to work back and forth, like I said. So we're going to work away from our force defender. Our defense is set up to stop this run to the left typically, in terms of, just the way we are aligned here in our auto alignment. So they're going to run away from our force defender. This is where you usering this linebacker over here is very crucial because your user is going to be far better at getting out here and stopping the run than this computer is going to be. So I'm going to try to help him out just a little bit just because I can't user, but typically, you're going to be using this player here and, running down and trying to force the run inside. But let's go with this run to the right here. You can just kind of see, he actually did a pretty good job here getting outside. He did a good job of forcing the run to the he really didn't force it inside like we want to. But he did a good enough job, like here, you're obviously going to have a much quicker reaction. You see where the fire is, you see where to fire your gun, obviously, right down in there, right where he's going to be running. You're going to be able to make that play very much quicker than a computer will. And we talked about our defense's run fits earlier in the video here, of every gap having, we have a force defender, we have a cutback guy, we have a force back, we have a cutback guy here. We have every gap accounted for in the run game. So while we are in a smaller defense, which is going to be beneficial, a little bit later, I'll explain. We are in this smaller defense in terms of just personnel. Like I said, we have more DBs on the field. We're still gap sound. We still have all of our gaps accounted for. And then you add your user into it. User will play a huge part, of course, in the run game in general, just, being able to shoot the gap and things like that. Real quick, I just want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the video. If you're this far, you're probably about halfway in the video, you probably like what you're seeing, so just drop a like for me on your way out before you go. Leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next. Check out the description for the schedule of the videos, which are going to come out, schemes, gameplays, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's all my ranting I need to do. We can just kick it back to the video. I just wanted to hop into a very heavy formation, 2 tight ends, a fullback on the field, and just sort of show you what that what this looks like against that before we get into the coverage aspect of the benefits of being a smaller defense and why your favorite NFL team is probably doing this as well. So here we're gonna we'll run into our force defender here. We will run right. That's kind of the way this is set up here. Try to cut up field. I mean, that was actually pretty good by the computer right there. I don't know if I could have bounced it out, but that was actually pretty good. We'll run this a few times. Just running right. We'll just be on that post safety. Here we'll try to bounce it outside. It's like a little bit better there. Still only picking up 5 or 6 yards. Again, not having a user, not being able to run 2 controllers is such a huge thing, because you're going to be bringing, I mean, just in terms of this run to the right, you would be using this purple zone over here, this curl flat, and he's not in the play at all. Like, you can watch this guy, this backside guy. He's really not going to have the play at all, because he's just a cutback guy. But you don't have to be just a cutback guy. You don't have to just, let's see if we can just fill his gap. Run to the left or run to the right here. See, he's just gonna, that's his job, is just to fill this gap. You don't have to do that as a user. You're going to be able to run over here, go rogue, and go crazy and actually help the run out. So, of course, that is going to be, something to factor into this here. But let's run into the cut defender yet again here. Let's try to bounce it outside. I actually did a pretty good job there, too. I thought I could get outside. Maybe could have cut it up. Let's go ahead, run to the left one time. Again, this is where, the weaker side of it here, because, like I said, you don't have a force defender, if this guy, if your linebacker obviously was lined up here, yeah, that's a very much a better angle than him trying to run and, get over this outside guy. So, but let's run it anyway. To the left side of the field, fullback actually does a pretty good job getting out of there. Corner does comes out and makes a tackle. So, not a bad defense for being so light. So this is a heavier set, but let's hop into like a more passing type of formation here and just show you the benefits of the passing game of this and not just the run game. Okay, so here we go to shotgun, still in the same defense here, the cover 3 show 2, and in theory we'd be using the same guy here, and this just gives us the ability, like I said, we're trying to stop the run with this defense. That is our main thing, but your opponent isn't going to run the ball every single play. They're just not going to, especially if you can discourage them early in the game from running. A lot of people, they'll try to run the ball early in the game 2, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever it is, that first drive or 2, and then if you can get them out of it, you stop them for 3 or 4 yards of carry, something like that, they just get bored with it and they just start throwing the ball all around the yard. So being able to be in a defense that you can just play man coverage. You can switch up the man coverage, and you feel pretty good. Maybe you don't just want to run straight up man coverage, whatever it is. But you can switch them in. You can run a cover 2 sync. You can and obviously you can run different coverages in your audibles as well. But you can run cover 2 sync. You can give them a cover 6 invert here. You can run quarter, half, and feel okay. Along with, here we can just go to the playbook real quick. There's probably 30 plays I think in this formation. 30 plays in 2-3-6. You can see there's all of these. There's blitzes out of here. Maybe, and of course, I'm going to go into the lab and more with this as well. And maybe this overload 3 press. Maybe there's a blitz out of that we can find. There's quarters that we can put into our audibles. There's cover 1 robber. There's a ton of different coverages that you can feel comfortable playing because we have all these DBs on the field. We aren't in 3-4. We aren't in the 4-3 where we have 3 linebackers on the field or 4 linebackers on the field. We have 6 or 7 DBs playing on the playing for us. So like we can come out in the tray flex, and even in our we're just playing our base defense here. Actually, this is our base defense here. We can feel pretty good about, just playing this coverage here. And, they got to take the check down. Of course, I'm not playing post safety. I could have just taken the touchdown over the top. But I mean, we can feel pretty good about playing those coverages, not just stopping the run. I feel like that is like the ultimate beginner-friendly thing. Something you can just, you don't have to click a bunch of buttons. You can call the play, feel confident that you're gapped up. You're ready to stop the run. But if your opponent does throw the ball on you, you at least have a shot. You at least have players out there. You don't have a linebacker that they can just target every single time. So I like this. Very, very beginner-friendly defense in general, but run defense overall. Cover 3 of the cover 3 show too. It's just not a defense that's set up to, like I said, stonewall the run game. It's a defense that does a little bit of both. You can stop the run out of this for sure. Like I said, you're gapped up. You have, you're all accounted for in that. We can still play a little coverage and, give you a little bit of both. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. That's really all I have for this video. On the defense side of the ball, first defensive tip of the year. Figured we'd kind of ease into it, start with a very beginner-friendly type of thing here. So if you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Another video coming out tomorrow, probably be on the offensive side of the ball tomorrow. And yeah, that's all I got for this one though. Appreciate you guys, doing all the liking, commenting, and subscribing. And yeah, hope to catch you guys in the next one. Later.